Hey guys, it's your girl Rochelle here with the Hardwood Diva, and I've got a new segment that I want to bring to you guys. It's going to be another weekly segment that I'm doing. I've been doing the NFL week picks, so this time I'm going to bring you some NBA games instead of doing NBA games to watch. Since there's so many NBA games, what I'm going to do is give you my for a week. Give you each day of that week just games to watch, whether it's 1, 2, 3, sometimes maybe even 4 games. Just for that day, what I think you guys should be paying attention to, especially right now since it's early in the season. Every game is not as important as, say, the NFL, but I do want you guys to be watching, so I want you guys to be aware of what's going on, so I'm going to give you some games to watch for the week. So we're going to do our first ones. Our weeks are going to go from Sunday to Saturday, just like your regular week, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at the games. So first up, we're going to start with November 7th, which is Sunday today. So I wanted to go ahead and give you the 2 games that I think you should be watching Sunday. So first up, we've got Boston Celtics versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Boston Celtics, of course, if you know anything about basketball, you know Boston Celtics are definitely one of the greatest teams in the league. So, of course, most of their games are going to be games you want to check out. But going up against the Oklahoma City Thunder, which is definitely a rising team out of the West, I definitely would put them as the number 2 team in the West, in my opinion. So I would definitely say this is a game to watch because this is a, top 2 team both for the East and the West Coast, and I say this is a game that could eventually be a finals pick. So you want to catch that one. So it's going to be November 7th, Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific time. I'm going to give you Pacific time because that's what most of the people I know are on, since I'm on Pacific time. Second game to watch is going to be the Portland Trailblazers versus the Los Angeles Lakers. Both of these teams are really good teams in the West Coast. Lakers, of course, number 1 will be number 1 until someone knocks them off. So I would say this is a game to watch. You want to see Portland always does well. Definitely does well with better competition. Lakers are definitely better competition for them. So we'll see how it goes. Then we got our next up for November 8th. The game that I think you should be watching, there are a couple of games that day, but there's only one that I personally think is going to be a really interesting game, and that's Denver versus Chicago. So the Denver Nuggets with Carmelo Anthony versus the Chicago Bulls with Derrick Rose, Joakim Noah. I think this is a really good game because it's another game with top tier teams from the East and the West battling against each other. So you kind of start getting to see how they'll do with competition from each of the other conferences. So you definitely want to check that one out. That game's going to be at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I know it's a Monday. It might be a little hard for some people. If you can, TiVo, DVR, but definitely check this game out. It's going to be one to watch. Next up, we've got November 9th, which is Tuesday. I have 2 games to watch that day. It's going to be, the first one up is going to be the New York Knicks versus the Milwaukee Bucks. The games are actually going to be on at the same time, but still try, if you can flip back and forth, have NBA TV, anything like that, check them out. Like I said, first up, it's the New York Knicks versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Knicks definitely made themselves better with Amari Stoudemire. They're playing a lot better. They beat the Chicago Bulls the other day. This is a good team, and the Milwaukee Bucks did really well in the playoffs this year. And they've got Andrew Bogut back. That was kind of what held them back from going a little further in the playoffs last year. So I would definitely say watch this game. Second up, we've got the Clippers versus the New Orleans Hornets. I know people are thinking the Clippers, the Hornets, both of these teams haven't been doing so well. Clippers have Blake Griffin, and trust me, any game where you get to watch Blake Griffin possibly slam on somebody is a definite must-see. And the New Orleans Hornets are actually perfect right now. CP3 is doing well. He is trying to get himself a contract to end all contracts, so he's going to do his best. So I think this is going to be a game to watch because it's up-and-coming teams. I think this could be finally, hopefully for the Clippers, this could be the chance, and I think New Orleans is going to definitely do their best to keep Chris Paul, so I'm seeing them having really good talent and definitely doing their best to make sure this team goes further. Both of those games, like I said, are going to be at 5 p.m. Pacific time, but I would say just try and switch back and forth. TiVo, DVR one, the other. Check it out. These are 2 games that are going to be really good to watch. One for the Eastern Conference and then one for the Western Conference. Then you've got November 10th, which is Wednesday. There's one game to watch. That game to watch is going to be Milwaukee versus Atlanta. This is a game to watch because it is a pairing of two teams that played each other in the first round? Second round. First round. First round of the playoffs last year. Sorry. First round of the playoffs last year. It was really, really, really good series. It wasn't expected to be, but Brandon Jennings brought it and definitely made the Atlanta Hawks have to play and had to seriously play to win. So I would say this is going to be a game to watch because, like I said, with Andrew Bogut back, Milwaukee is doing much better. They will continue to do much better, even though it's still early in the season, only a few weeks in. But I think this will be a really good game for everyone to check out. So go ahead and do that. That one's going to be at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I know a lot of these Eastern Conference ones are earlier just because it's, late for them. But if you can, try and check them out. November 11th, Thursday, we've got Boston versus Miami. Shouldn't have to say more. You should just want to watch it because of the fact that this was the first game of the season. And these two teams are definitely wanting to battle it out again. Boston got the best of Miami first, so I know Miami's been doing a little bit better. They're going to want to try and get them back. Miami's going to be playing on their home court. This game is going to probably bring out all the celebs too, but this is going to be a good game to watch. It's going to be two really good teams battling it out. So I would suggest watching this one. It's going to be on at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you got to tell your boss, hey, I got to get off work real early. No, I'm just joking. But definitely make sure you try and check this out one if you can. Then you've got the Lakers versus Denver Nuggets. That's going to be the second game. It's at 7:30 p.m., so you'll be able to catch that one. Of course, if you're an LA person, you're most likely a Laker fan. Not me. But you'll want to catch this game. This is a good game. Denver always plays Lakers really well. So I'd say go ahead, check it out, 7:30 p.m. Then we've got Friday, November 12th. I say check out the Sacramento-Phoenix game. Yes, it's going to be a really good game because, Sacramento's doing much better. They have a young team. They're, up and coming with their guard play. Phoenix, anytime you get to watch Steve Nash in a game, he's amazing. It's really amazing to watch the Suns play, even though haven't started off so well. I definitely see them still being able to make the playoffs. And then I'm going to the game. So you should watch and see if you can see me on TV. Watch out. I'll try and see if I can get a poster or something that says Hardwood Diva so somebody will want to see me. I don't know. We'll see. But we'll pray. We'll pray that I can get on camera. But go ahead and watch for that. That reason alone is enough. But that one's going to be at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so watch that. Then you've got Portland versus Oklahoma City. Like I said, the Thunder are up-and-coming team. This is a team to watch. Portland's doing the same. So I would say this is probably like a 2-4 kind of matchup eventually. So I would say go ahead and try that one. Then on November 13th, which is Saturday, ending our week, we've got two games. Washington versus Chicago. This is going to be watching the guard play of Derrick Rose versus John Wall. John Wall is putting up really good numbers for his first year. Him and Blake Griffin are probably my two tops as far as Rookie of the Year. So go ahead and watch out for that one. That one's at 5 p.m. And then also Portland versus the New Orleans Hornets. So go ahead and check those games out. That concludes our week of NBA games to watch. I'm not making any picks just because, right now it's still kind of early to pick some of these teams. And some of these games are games that I honestly think are, up in the air. I'm not making any picks, but I'm telling you games that I think you should check out. Make sure you go and see them. I know one other thing. I've been promising you the basketball, the basics of. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties, but we're going to get that one out to you. I promise we're going to have that one out within the next couple of weeks. Luckily, basketball season's long. Still hasn't really ramped up yet. But definitely go ahead and, we're going to get that out to you. Want to make sure that you get a chance to just kind of start getting a little better understanding of how basketball works. So these games are a little bit more interesting for those that aren't huge basketball fans yet. So that concludes my NBA November 7th week of games to watch. So catch me next Sunday. I will talk to you guys later. Goodbye.